might have been that piece that breaks the back of the Miami Heat. And another wonderful performance off the bench for Brown. For Denver this time, your fellow Hurricane Bruce.
Yeah, you know what? With Denver, it hasn't necessarily been their bench as a collective unit, but different games have had different guys explode. And today, and really as of late as well, because I had 10 points going into the fourth quarter, but up to 18 now. So 8 in the fourth quarter. And attacking. And he's got great focus when he gets to the rim. I mean, he's made some really tough shots, but for Denver, it's the balance. This is why when you talk about the West, they were that team that no one liked to talk about for whatever reason, flying under the radar all season. But I think someone called them uninteresting, which is mind-blowing a little bit. But, I mean, this is why they are the team they are. Incredible balance. And on any given night, they have multiple guys. And Miami has seen that too. I definitely don't want to take away from that either. But Denver tonight, I mean, other guys have really also stepped up. Aaron Gordon with 27 points, but 11 for 15 from the field for him. So when you talk about efficiency, he was incredible.
Miami needed a big fourth quarter. They're being outscored by 1. Duncan, 3-ball, top of the arc. Air ball. Caleb saves it to Bam. Snaps it out top. Knocked away and grabbed away by Green. 1:39 to go. Nuggets up 105-91. Nuggets getting closer and closer to taking a 3-1 lead. Took care of the Timberwolves 4-1. The Suns 4-2. Swept the Lakers in the Western Conference Final. As Brown rips the net. What a night coming back to the town of your alma mater. Amy, you know how that feels. Come home back to Miami. Perform on people. You've been doing it all season, though. Bruce has tonight 11 of his 21 here in the fourth quarter. What a performance.
As much as we talk about the fourth quarters for Miami, and that's kind of been their time to shine, you think Denver had a conversation about that too? If they want to win the championship, they probably have to play elite fourth quarters. And when you take option 1 or 2 away, you've got 3, 4, and at times 5 willing to step up and make a big shot or a big play. And Bruce Brown has been, I'm not even going to say 4 or 5. I think he's been option 2 or 3 most of the time tonight.
Green gets hit with a foul. That's his first. Bam at the line, makes another. He's 3 for 3, has 19. So 27 from Gordon. He's going to be the top scorer for Denver. 23 for Joker and 21 for Brown. Murray, 5 of 17, 15 points, 12 assists for the double-double. So while his shot was not falling, or at least being the centerpiece of the defense to make it tougher, still been able to drop dimes all over the place. Both go for Bam. 108-93, a minute to go. Denver taking their time. There's Joker working over the top of Martin. Up, he misses. Bam with the rebound. Now the push the other way. 48 seconds to go. Inside to Martin. He'll get up. He'll throw it down. 108-95 with 43 seconds to go. Off we go to Denver for the first elimination game of the 2023 NBA Finals. We'll hop on Heat Force 1 tomorrow, a media day on Sunday, and then Monday, Game 5 in Denver. He's outscored Miami 42-24 from behind the arc alone. Now, Miami, 8 of 24. 14 of 28. That's half of them splashing down for Denver. Shot clock violation for the Nuggets. Lowry for 3. He misses. Rebound by Caldwell Pope. And that is that. 10 seconds to count down. What a commanding position, a historical position, a difficult position for the Miami Heat. But Denver's earned it every step of the way. That'll do it. Nuggets win 108-95. The Heat will go to Denver to fight for a Game 6.
And it goes back to that three-point shooting, Jax. I mean, The rebounding, Miami won the rebounds. They kept close in pretty much everything else. And unfortunately for Miami, this has been so many of the games of the regular season, right, where you're looking at it and you're saying you don't really fault the effort. It's just you have to be able to score or hit shots, timely shots. Denver certainly did, and Miami did not. If I'm keeping my glass half full, it's that we know that can switch game to game for Miami, right? Sure. They will have poor shooting night or two poor shooting nights and then be able to respond. Now, that's it. There's no question about it. You go to Denver on Monday night, you got to connect from long range. You absolutely have to.
Call of the game is presented by UKG, the official HR and payroll provider of the Miami Heat. UKG, our purpose is people. Up to Lowry. He snaps it to Duncan. Duncan pauses, moves it to Jimmy, who catches, drives, puts it up, and in, and one. Jimmy, about time. 25 points for Butler, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block. 6 of 9 from the line, 9 of 17 from the field, even splashed one of his 3 offerings down. But this game 5, it's game 7.
Oh, they're all game 7s now. But if there's one team that should believe in being able to come from behind after that Boston series, it is your Miami Heat. It ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to be pretty. But these guys, as Spo always says, love to compete.
Let the love float through the air as we fly through it tomorrow. Nuggets 108, Heat 95. The Miami Heat audio experience returns Monday night, game 5 of the NBA Finals, and it's in Denver. Another Rocky Mountain High, and Denver in control 3-1 in this series. The Heat is on the radio pregame show will get underway at 8 p.m. The tip just after 8:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time. This has been a presentation of the Miami Heat audio experience. Our producers, Dan Day and Jimmy Garcia. Our engineer, Gary Ibar. Miami Heat broadcasting assistant, Courtney Fallon, who is our quality control coordinator as well. Our statistician. They call him Randall over in the West, but Randy here in the South. Randy Ware. For Amy, Alejandro, and Tommy, I'm Jax. The Heat is on the radio postgame show. Is next. Stay there.
The Kia Summer Sales event is happening now at Gunther Kia. Today, you can score big savings on your new Kia Sorento, Stinger, and the all-electric EV6. All with Gunther's guaranteed lowest price and 3 years no-worry maintenance included this summer. Get into your new Kia from Gunther Kia in Fort Lauderdale on 441, just north of I-595. Shop for your new Kia online at GuntherKia.com. For car buying done your way, you've got to get to Gunther Kia.
Good Greek to get them there. And when it's time for you to move like the Miami Heat and call Good Greek Moving and Storage. Whether it's local or long distance, go to goodgreek.com. Good Greek Moving and Storage, the official movers of the Miami Heat.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Recap time for this NBA Finals game, the post-game show on the Miami Heat audio experience.
So no shot clock at all. 2 seconds. Jimmy for 3, left corner. Got it! That's how you end the quarter. That's how you shake your man's hand. That's Jimmy Butler for 3. He's got 9 points. Heat up 21-20
with Jimmy starting out really strong, doing exactly what he wanted. However, the final tally of this one, not in the direction that he would have wished. Hi, everybody. It's post time. Our final score, Denver taking a 3-1 lead in this best-of-7 NBA Finals by beating Miami 2 straight here at home, 108-95, the final of this one. Only one time in team history has Miami recovered from a 1-3 deficit in the playoffs. Have to go back to 1997. But they had 2 games here in the 305, Game 5, and then Game number 7. That's why many people believe going into today's contest, this was one that Miami had to have. Wasn't exactly critical or crucial. You don't get to that until you're in the elimination situation. But losing 2 straight at home, in fact, as many as they have, 4 straight, counting the last couple of games with Boston, really hurts this evening. Got back within 5 in the fourth quarter, but just could not get any closer than that. Let's welcome in Alejandro Solana. And in the first half, the biggest difference from game number 3, much better play on the inside, but you can see how each team struggled offensively. We heard the score 21-20 at the end of 1, picked it up a little bit in the second quarter, but then in the third, the Heat seemed to let the Nuggets start to control the game, and 60-plus points for those guys, as deadly as they can be offensively, it really sets a tone, especially by some players you probably never expected would take over the game when Murray and Jokic were not even in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the third quarter. It's a little bit different than how it transpired in Game 3, right?
Yes.
In Game 3, I think the Nuggets, they just had more energy than Miami, more hustle. And in this game, I don't think that was the case. I just think the Heat went through a ton of dry spells offensively and couldn't take advantage, like you just mentioned, of when Jokic went to the bench. But in the third, they start the quarter. The Denver Nuggets do 10-4 in favor of themselves, and then they close that quarter on a 12-5 run. I mean, you see the difference there already, how they're starting and finishing those quarters. And then in the fourth, Jokic, he gets his 5th foul, 9:24 remaining in the fourth. The Heat are down 10. When he enters the game again with under 5 to play, the Heat only have a 9-point deficit. They couldn't take advantage of Jokic not being in the game in the most crucial part of the game.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is you take a look at this Nuggets team, and Amy mentioned it. They didn't get an awful lot of publicity over the course of the season, and they've done what they've done in the playoffs, sweeping the Lakers, taking 4 of 6 from the Suns, 4 of 5 from the Wolves. So it's no disgrace to be in a position like this because they're a very good team, and you have to play your A game. I just don't think Miami's really done that offensively. Jimmy and Bam did what they could. Kyle Lowry with a spark at one point in the first half. But if you're going to lose games, you got to lose game to a team that, has an awful lot of players out there that can contribute. I get the feeling Jokic and Murray have been spectacular throughout these playoffs. But to get the kind of contribution that they got tonight from Bruce Brown and Aaron Gordon, that says an awful lot that this is more than just a couple of guys on this team that really excel.
Yeah, and anybody who thought that that's just what it was, right? I think it's the same conversation that can be had about Miami. I mean, you're seeing it right now, right? Butler and Bam combined for 45 points, but the Heat's reserves and their second unit and their role players who they're used to relying on for big outputs, especially on the scoreboard, haven't really, I don't want to say shown up, but just haven't produced the way that you were hoping. And that's a direct reflection of these last 2 losses, especially on the Heat's home floor. And for Denver, I mean, anybody who's paying attention to them this year knew how important Aaron Gordon was to them, right? Defensively, knew how important KCP and Bruce Brown was off the bench as well. So you're seeing it all come to fruition. And for Miami, a team that always came up with the big buckets down the stretch, that wasn't the case tonight. Instead, it was the Denver Nuggets.
It certainly was. Our final score, Denver 108, Miami 95, to take a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 NBA Finals with game number 5, 48 minutes away from their first NBA championship on Monday night. Up next, the best in SPO, the post-game thoughts of Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra, and more in a matter of moments. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
This is Jason Jackson with the Miami Heat, and I'm here to introduce you to Accordis, preferred partner of the Miami Heat. Accordis provides the latest technology to help us and many more enterprises like yours to thrive with their solutions for network, managed printing, IT security, and more. They hold one of South Florida's largest authorized partner networks, partnering with Cisco, Microsoft, Samsung, LG, Xerox, Dell, HP, and dozens more. Accordis gives your business the fast and effective tech game plan it needs to continue to win. To start winning with us, contact Accordis today at 1-888-331-3134 or visit them at www.accordiscorp.com.
Imagine a bank that is always in your court, one that sees their customers as part of a team with a common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amerant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life, and just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amerant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amerant, official bank of the Miami Heat. Member FDIC.
Fly to Philly? Take off to Tampa. Depart for Denver. Following your team on the road is more rewarding with the new American Airlines Advantage program. Your flights and everyday spend not only earn you miles towards your next trip, but also loyalty points toward Advantage status. All the more reason to purchase both a home and away jersey. With status comes great benefits like priority boarding, free check bags, and complimentary upgrades. Now remember, enroll for free today at AA.com. American Airlines, you are why we fly. Terms and conditions apply.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Fort Lauderdale.
Let's get back to the recap of the game, the post-game show. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
This just got put by Porter, no call. To Bam, the throwdown. That's how you do it. And Max is happy for it because that shove deserved a hammer on somebody's hand. And Bam threw it and connected. He's got a dunk.
En route to another double-double, unfortunately just not enough. Welcome back, everybody. The final score, Denver 108, Miami 95. So the Nuggets up 3-1 in the best-of-7 NBA Finals. It's almost here. Junior Heat basketball camp begins next Monday. For 7 weeks this summer, Hoopers will learn from Camp Director Tony Fiorentino, Glenn Rice, and other talented youth coaches around South Florida. Campers will participate in a variety of competitions, games, and drills. Registration is open. In fact, it's actually open at Cooper City High School on the day that they start this thing on Monday, the 12th. Either way, you could go do it. If you want to do it online over the weekend, you figure let's get it out of the way so you don't have to worry and let Junior or whatever go out there and shoot jumpers while everybody else is trying to sign up with the big line that they have there. Best thing to do is visit juniorheat.com. Taking a look at the individual numbers and the team numbers of tonight's game for both of these clubs. The Denver Nuggets will start off first. Michael Porter Jr., 22.5 minutes, 4 of 10 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line, 3 rebounds, 11 points for Michael Porter Jr. Aaron Gordon, 41.5 minutes, 11 of 15 from the floor, 3 of 4 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a plus 29 to lead all players in this one. 27 points for Aaron Gordon, who looked a little bit like he was playing back in college and maybe some of those days with the Orlando Magic, but he was solid in the beginning part of the series in game number 1 when he scored 12 points in the first quarter. Didn't do much after that, but he set a tone that made the Heat make a change in the starting lineup to get Kevin Love out there. Kevin helped out an awful lot in game number 2 when Miami gained the victory, but since then it's really been all Denver in the games here in Miami. Gordon finishes up with 27 points to lead all scorers in tonight's game. Nikola Jokic, 37 minutes, 8 of 19 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 4 of 4 from the line, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, 23 points for Jokic. The thing about this one is a lot of people talk beforehand, what's the thing you try to take away from him? Maybe his passing. Well, he only had 4 in game number 2. He had 4 in tonight's game, ran into foul trouble, sat out most of the fourth quarter. He had 5 fouls, and the other guys took over for him down the stretch. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 36 minutes, 2 of 5 from 3, 1 of 2 from the line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, 7 points for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Jamal Murray, 42.5 minutes, 5 of 17 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line, 3 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal, 15 points for Jamal Murray. For the 4th game, he's come up with a double-double, and the 4th time, his first 4 finals games in his career, he has double-digit assists. And who would have thought that going in there, doing a nice job running the team when Jokic was out of the lineup with the foul trouble in the 4th quarter. Bruce Brown from the U, 29.5 minutes, 8 of 11 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and a block, 21 points for Bruce Brown. Christian Brown, 14 minutes in the game, 0 of 1 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 point for Christian Brown, a little bit different than his performance, 7 of 8 in game number 3. Jeff Green, 15.5 minutes, 1 for 1 from 3. He also had 1 steal, 3 points for Jeff Green. As a team, the Denver Nuggets shooting 49.5% from the field, 14 of 28 from 3. This is the team that did not shoot the ball well in the first 3 games. They finished 50% in tonight's contest from beyond the arc, 16 of 21 from the free throw line. The Nuggets had 33 rebounds, the Heat 37. So that's one of the things you wanted to do, much better inside. And Miami did in today's game. 26 assists for Denver, 23 for the Heat. Only 8 turnovers for the Nuggets that led to 8 Heat points, while the Heat turned the ball over 16 times for 20 points for the Denver Nuggets. Looking at the individual numbers for your Miami Heat in tonight's game, Jimmy Butler played 45 and a half minutes, 9 of 17 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 6 of 9 from the line, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block. More of a Jimmy Butler type of contest, 25 points. I know everybody out there was hoping for the 30 to 40-point game like we've seen so often from him in the postseason. 25 in tonight's contest for Butler. Kevin Love in 18 minutes, 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line. 4 rebounds, 12 points for Kevin Love. Bam Adebayo, 43 and a half minutes, 8 of 18 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the line, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 20 points, and 11 rebounds. Another double-double for Bam, but he's going to be thinking about this statistic for the entire evening, all the way to the flight to Denver, knowing Bam Adebayo the way that I do. 8 turnovers in tonight's game, more than half of what his team had. Max Strus in 18 and a half minutes, 0 of 4 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3, 5 rebounds, no points for Max Strus, 0 for 10 in game number 1, did not score again tonight. Gabe Vincent, 18 and a half minutes, 1 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 4 from 3, 1 assist. Foul trouble once again for Gabe. He finished with 2 points, so struggling backcourt for the second straight game right here by the Miami Heat, with Strus and Vincent combining for 1 of 10 from the floor, 0 of 7 from 3. Caleb Martin, 33 minutes, 5 of 12 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 11 points for Caleb Martin. Kyle Lowry, a very strong first half, good floor game throughout the time that he was in there. 33 minutes, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from the line, 1 of 4 from 3, 6 of 6 from the line. 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 13 points for Kyle Lowry. Cody Zeller played 4.5 minutes, had a rebound and an assist, no points. Haywood Highsmith played the last 3 seconds of the second quarter, nothing on the board for him. Duncan Robinson, 25 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, 12 points for Duncan Robinson. 35 of 77 from the field for your Miami Heat. That's 45.5%. 8 of 25 from the three-point line, 32%, and 17 of 20 from the free throw line. Miami not having it offensively, and it's a big difference from what we've seen from this team over the course of this postseason. Every single time it seemed they'd go out there, they'd struggle every once in a while, but it seemed every single game they had their offensive game going more often than not, especially in the Milwaukee series where they started out the way that they did, 15 of 25 in the first game. They didn't play as well in the New York series, who did a much better job on them defensively, but they had their moments against Boston in an awful lot of the contests, especially that final game when they played tremendous defense to beat them 103-84, and in the early games in Boston, which helped them get that 3-0 lead with the great game they played here in game number 3. Ironically, after that, Miami did not win a game in this building, but offense tonight, the pace was not exactly to their liking. This team wants to run a little bit more than they did. The game being played in the mud or very slow. We mentioned it in the first segment, 21-20. The lead was for Miami. Yeah, I had the lead, but still you weren't playing that well offensively. But then again, neither team was, both shooting in the 30s. Let's go down to the interview room and here's head coach Eric Spoelstra.
Or right on the first row.
Anthony J. Miami Herald. Jokic exited the game. You guys quickly went on a quick 5-0 run to cut it to 5. From your view, what happened from there that allowed them to hang on?
Yeah, it felt like we had opportunities offensively to score, and some strange things happen on some of these possessions, or just misses in the paint, or some timely miscues that led to turnovers, and then they scored. It's not as if they're scoring 130 on us. It's just the context of when they would score or a breakdown that just kind of kept things at bay. Every time we felt like we got it to 6 or 8, they were able to push it to 12, and that was certainly a frustrating part of the game. And Brown was a big part of that. Some of his random drives and plays in the middle of the paint, when you're expecting it to be, Murray or somebody else.
Left side first row.
Will Guillory with the Athletic. Coach, 3 out of the 4 games in this series, your team has been under 100 points. Of course, part of that is slower pace, but what have they done to really disrupt you guys on offense?
Well, tonight, I mean, it's been a little bit different each game. Tonight, it was probably those, quick hands either stripping us, when we had advantages on drives, the kickballs, that Jokic does very well, deflected passes or just some miscues. It's not like we had 25 turnovers, but whatever the turnovers were, 16 or 15 or 16, they just led to scores that were deflating going the other way when it felt like we had an advantage. So it's probably a combination of some of those timely against us turnovers and then some makeable shots that we didn't make, during those stretches when the game was in the balance, when it felt like it was 4, 6, 8 during those moments. I'll have to go back and track that, but that's where I felt like probably the advantages were missed the most during those moments.
First row on the right side.
Cooper Moorhead, Heat.com. Neither Moore nor Jokic shot particularly efficiently, but did you feel like you got a real containment on their actions and what was being produced for the other guys off their actions?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say because, Jokic was in foul trouble, so they went to other things. Jokic shot some threes, that changes the dynamic a little bit. For the most part, I thought that part of the game was okay. It's the Gordon, dunks or cuts. Porter had a couple cuts, and then Brown. When Jokic was out, those drives and plays that were kind of just random plays, attacking plays, which he's fully capable of doing. Those were probably the most costly things.
We're going to go in the back to left side to Nick.
So Nick Friedel, ESPN. You praised the will of the group throughout this whole stretch. What is the biggest message you want to impart to them?
Everybody's already talking about, sorry to cut you off. Everybody's already talking about it. Like, I've been in those games, game 5. Those are not the easiest games, at home. All we're focused on. I told the guys, feel whatever you want to feel tonight. That's fine. You probably shouldn't sleep anything tonight, any amount of time. I don't think anybody will. We have an incredibly competitive group. We've done everything the hard way, and that's the way it's going to have to be done right now again. And all we're going to focus on is getting this thing back to the 305. Get this thing back to Miami. And things can shift very quickly. It's going to be a gnarly game in Denver that's built for the competitors that we have in our locker room. And by the time we get on that plane, all we're thinking about is get this thing back to Miami.
First row in the middle.
And we get an opportunity to play a super competitive game in a great environment. That's going to be an awesome environment. Our guys are built for that. They love that. And particularly, I'm sure everything in the next, whatever, what do we have? 3 days in between. Yeah, we understand what the narrative will be, but that's the way it is with our team.
First row in the middle.
Hey, Spo, Melissa Rowland, Fox Sports. Considering how much you guys have already overcome this postseason, how much confidence does that give you, obviously, heading into a 3-1 series?
It doesn't matter about confidence or not confidence or how we feel or what our mood is. Our guys love to compete. We get another opportunity to compete and take this thing one step at a time. Get this thing back to the 305. And we do that. All right, that's how quickly things can change. Obviously, we got some things to figure out, but we have an extra day to do that. But the mindset, you don't have to question that. That's what everybody's already thinking about.
We'll take 2 more questions. Tim Reynolds on the right.
Tim Reynolds, AP. Eric, the energy that Kevin Love gave you to start the third quarter, I saw you gave him a pretty vicious slap there when he came out. Is those stretches, is it just that simple? That's going to be what's required?
Yeah, it's going to be inspiring plays. You stack inspiring play after inspiring play. Right when I took him out, because that's when he was going to come out, it was about 4 and change. That's one of the most impressive multiple effort rebounds. It reminded me of that's something that Dennis Rodman would do. And then we're going to stack a bunch of more of those kind of plays in game 5. Our guys love this kind of deal with the stakes, and the context of everything. We're not even going to think about what's after that. All we're focused on is getting this thing back to Miami.
Final question in the middle, Coach.
Eric Rohan, Nocturne Sports Illustrated. You mentioned Gordon earlier. I believe he was the leading scorer out of everyone tonight. It seems like a lot of times he takes advantage of his size in the paint. Just in general, when a player like that has a size advantage and they're using it, where do you kind of begin to counteract that? How do you begin to counteract something like that?
Yeah, I felt like the size was more of a factor in game 1. I think there was miscues, lack of communication, or rotations tonight. Now, he is fully capable of doing what he's able to do. And, he's big, he's athletic, he's a great finisher. He has a real good synergy, all that stuff. So you have to respect that and then conquer it. Tonight, there are some more relief points that, I think we could have handled better. That doesn't guarantee that we would have been able to get the stop. But my instinct says before I got to the film that it felt like more of those kind of things. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Coach.
Thank you.
That's head coach Eric Spoelstra. Tonight's post-game coaches press conference presented by Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, the official sports medicine provider of your Miami Heat. Go where the pros go. We hope to go back down to the interview room and hear from one of the players from the Miami Heat on tonight's game as well. Our final score, Denver 108, Miami 95. So the Nuggets, a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. Still ahead, we'll look around the sports world with NBA notes and news upcoming. You're listening to the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
When it comes to basketball in Florida, Valley Sports Sun is the heart of the state, bringing you to the hardwood for all the biggest moments.
Kaboom! He's on fire!
Watch your hometown team turn up the temperature as they battle the very best around the league.
Oh, my.
Plus, pregame with your favorite Valley sports team before and after each game for the Heat Live pre- and post-game shows.
Yes.
Catch the Heat all season long on Valley Sports Sun, the Valley Sports app, and Valley Sports Plus.
You love watching, following, and sometimes even playing the game. Don't ever let an injury keep you from it. Let the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of the Miami Heat, get you back to what you love. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information. Doesn't it feel good to know you can go where the pros go?
Can health insurance be a doorway to a healthier life? To yoga classes? To nutrition classes? To nurses you don't need an appointment to see? Or even community specialists who give you access to helpful resources? It can. Our Florida Blue Centers offer all that and a whole lot more. All you have to do is walk through the door. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
The season is here, and so is your chance to experience all the thrilling Heat basketball live and in the stands. As the official marketplace of the NBA, Ticketmaster has got you covered with the largest selection of seats of any ticketing marketplace. Do not miss any of the action. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Heat.
Let's get back to the recap of the game, the post-game show. This is the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
Top to Gordon. He stays on the ground to catch it. Pump fake, puts it up, got it in. Timeout Miami. Gordon got right at the edge of the rim on the left side and was patient and then put it away.
Taking off from there to lead all scorers. Welcome back, everybody. We continue to post you up. The final score, Denver 108, Miami 95. Let's go back down to the interview room and hear from Heat guard Duncan Robinson.
Obviously, some of the cuts, some of the transition, we had some timely turnovers. Some of it, like myself, is just keeping the ball in front. They got some guys that were more aggressive tonight. So, we got to have solutions
that.
We're going to go with far right.
Anthony Chang, Miami Herald. Duncan, just from your view over these last two games, what have they done better? Kind of defending the 3-point line. I think attempts were down to 25 tonight as well.
Yeah, they're helping a little bit less on drives, it seems. Scrambling. Definitely give some credit to them. For us, it's going to be about being detailed and running good offense, which we're capable of doing. But yeah, as the series goes on, both teams are going to make adjustments. So not necessarily surprised by that, but they're a good team. They got a good scheme, and it's on us to continue to try to figure it out.
You stay on the right side in the third row.
Tomer Azarli from Clutch Points. Duncan, I think Jamal Murray's had 10 plus assists in every one of his games so far. Aside from the scoring aspect, just what is he able to do as a playmaker that's given you guys some trouble, even when his shot's not going down?
Obviously it attracts a lot of attention in whatever action he's in. So, when you garner that sort of attention and focus, people flying at you, he's good at, creating advantages, putting two on the ball and finding somebody open. A lot of times it's on that short roll. He got some skips tonight as well. So, and they're good cutting off the ball. So, it's going to require a lot of discipline and, he's obviously scored the ball, but also passed the ball well in this series. So, we got to continue to just try to make it difficult on him.
First row in the middle.
Duncan, Rohan Adkani, Sports Illustrated. You've played a lot of your minutes in this series against Denver's second unit, and then in the fourth quarter again tonight, that kind of Gordon at center look. What challenges has that lineup presented, do you feel like, for you guys?
Well, defensively for them, they switch a lot and try to blow stuff up. They got guys that can get into the ball, try to get into the ball. So, in theory, I guess it's a faster, more physical group. And then offensively, it's just kind of player movement, ball movement. So, when they play with pace, obviously, no matter who it is, it's hard to guard. So, for us, we got to be really detailed offensively and defensively, just be better, helping each other. And of course, stand in front of the ball too.
First row to the left.
This is Will Giller with The Athletic. Duncan, defensively, you guys are known for being comfortable with just throwing a bunch of different defensive looks at teams. How rare is it to go against a team with Jokic or with Murray that's just able to find answers? Whatever you guys throw at them, they just be able to adapt the way they have so far this series.
They're both intelligent players, always processing the game, trying to find spots. And, for us defensively, we try to do some different things to slow them down. We've had some success in pockets. But, like I said, they're great players. It's not like you're going to wipe them out entirely. And there's so much, the focal point of what they do. So it's just going to continue on us to continue to obviously have like a competitive will and spirit defending them. But then also, just like you said, just mixing it up, trying to do different things.
We're going to go left side, fourth row.
Peter Ortiz on Fire Media. Dunk, right over here. Did you learn anything from tonight's loss that you can use to your advantage for Game 5?
I thought we had some big time efforts on both ends of the floor, particularly defensively on both Murray and Jokic. I thought, guys just flying around, doing everything they can. Caleb, in particular, Jimmy, Bam. So, the effort is there. Absolutely. And that's something obviously you can't control. So just continuing to build off of that. And then, just get a little bit more detailed with the execution on both ends.
Final question. Okay. Thank you, Duncan.
Yep.
That's Duncan Robinson, one of 6 Heat players in double figures in tonight's game. Unfortunately, just not enough. Aaron Gordon leading the way as they had 5 players in double figures, including Gordon leading the way with 27, and Bruce Brown coming off the bench. He had 21 as well. Other NBA news from today, the Nuggets make a trade. While in the NBA Finals, they trade a number 1 in 2029 to Oklahoma City for 2 number 2s, including one in this year's draft and a 2024 number 1. The Celtics found out this today that Grant Williams, who had been bothered by a hand injury since March, decided to go under the knife today. Left hand surgery. Should be good, though, for training camp. He is a restricted free agent for Boston. National Hockey League, day off today. Game number 4 tomorrow in Sunrise. The Panthers down 2-1 against the Vegas Golden Knights, trying to even up that series in game number 4. That will face off at 8:10 on Saturday. Our final score, Denver 108, Miami 95. When we return, Alejandro rejoins us with his final comments on tonight's game here on Press Row at the Kaseya Center. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
At the UPS store, not every small business needs the same thing, but every small business needs something. We're the scanning and faxing store, the printing store, the packing and shipping store,
I need my designing place and my printing place to be the same place store.
We're the one-stop, right around the corner, everything you need so you can be unstoppable store. The UPS store, be unstoppable. The UPS store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
There's nothing sweeter than the sound of a step-back three ripping through the net, or the chirp of your opponent's sneakers squeaking after a nasty crossover. Except maybe the roaring of the crowd after a perfectly executed Eurostep. But those moves don't just happen overnight. You have to put in the work. Countless hours of practice, relentless dedication, and endless preparation. At Kia, we've mastered a move of our own, and it's called the Telluride. Its available 3.8-liter V6 engine didn't just magically appear. We built it from the ground up. And how do you think it got 291 horsepower? Luck? Think again. You don't put on a performance this unstoppable without sweating every detail. So the next time you see someone splash a 30-foot fadeaway, remember how hard it is to make it look so easy. And the next time you're behind the wheel of a Kia Telluride, be inspired by the way it glides so effortlessly. Kia is the official vehicle of the Miami Heat. Kia, movement that inspires.
Hey, Heat Nation, the best way to celebrate a Heat win is with Papa John's Pizza. Because when the Heat win, you win too. The day after a Heat win, get 50% off online orders at regular menu price when you order from the Papa John's app or papajohns.com using the promo code HEATWIN. And don't forget to join Papa Rewards for exclusive items and score points towards free pizza with every order. Papa John's, the official delivery pizza of the Miami Heat. Offer valid for online orders only. Not valid with other discounts. Delivery fee and taxes extra and are not subject to discount offer.
Let's get back to the recap of the game, the post-game show. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
Welcome back, everybody. The final score, Denver 108, Miami 95. So they take a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 NBA Finals with game number 4 coming up in the Rocky Mountain High region on Monday evening. Let's welcome back Alejandro. And game number 3, Jimmy Butler was the story in the third quarter for Miami with 12 points, doing his best to try to keep the team close, but Denver just had too much. Tonight's game, I really think it was a little bit more methodical with the way that Denver took over the game. I still thought Miami had really good chances, but then they seemed to run away and hide in the fourth quarter on Wednesday night. Tonight, Miami stuck with them for the most part, but couldn't you get that feeling that Denver controlled the game regardless whether Jokic was in or not?
Yeah, and I think that's what's the most disappointing part, right, Tommy? Because I told you, look, the Heat are going to be down 10 with 9 minutes to go, but Jokic is going to pick up his 5th foul. He has to come to the bench.
Right.
Not that you want to be in that position, but if you were in that position, that's ideal right there for the Heat. Not to have Jokic on the floor, and he wasn't on the floor until the 4-minute mark when he ended up coming back in the game. And again, I mean, the Heat just couldn't take advantage of those minutes. And I think that's what's most frustrating tonight about Miami is that, once again, they couldn't rely on their offense to get them to where they wanted to go. And that's kind of been how they got to this point. We always know the Heat, they're going to do everything they can on the defensive end, you know, to put themselves in a position to win. But offensively, all postseason long, they've had answers and they've had responses offensively. And again, tonight, there's really no other way to look at this game. But they only scored 22 points in the third quarter and only scored 22 points in the fourth quarter. And in this NBA, if you can't surpass 100 points in back-to-back games in the NBA Finals going up against one of the highest rated teams offensively in the league, you are not going to win many games. And I think that's where the Heat caught themselves once again tonight, just not able to score enough baskets to counter what Denver was doing.
Does it remind you somewhat of a lot of the games in the regular season? I don't mean the close games that Miami played. Maybe a few of the close games were like this in the mud where they didn't score that much. But how many times do we sit here or, back at the studios and watch this team struggle offensively, especially from three where they're in the bottom five throughout most of the season? And then you had to rely on Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Well, they played okay in tonight's game, coming up with 45 points, but that says an awful lot about what this team is all about, because the inconsistencies, it seems, of what they had in the regular season have come back to bite them, even though I'm giving a lot of credit to the Nuggets for how they've played them so far in these last couple games.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, right? You could say 8 of 25. Yeah, that's the Heat team that struggled all season long, bottom 5 in the NBA in three-point shooting, sure, but I do think it has more to do with the opponent, and that's what happens when you get to this point.
Let's go down to the interview room. Here's Bam Adebayo.
And I feel like that's what he means. We just will not quit.
We're going to go to the right side first row.
CooperMoreheadHeat.com. Bam, you guys got a season or a series high makes at the rim. They also had a series high in makes at the rim. So why were you guys able to get a little bit more going downhill, but then why were they responding in turn with their own kind of downhill easy looks?
Spo definitely made it an emphasis to attack the rim, to really get to the rim. Me and Jimmy, everybody included, really get downhill and make things happen. For them, where is it? I feel like they got a lot of rim attacks off of minor mistakes, lack of communication, and certain skirmishes.
We're going to go to the middle to the fourth row.
Isaiah Smalls, Miami Herald. This series, you've only shot the ball 50% only once in the second half. How do you get yourself going, finish the game strong?
Keep going. That's the biggest thing for me. Keep forcing that. Keep getting to the line, see the ball go in, and live with the result.
We're going to go to the right side first row.
Anthony Chang, Miami Herald. Spo was just in here talking about how the only goal is to get this series back to Miami. But how challenging is it to kind of not look at the overall task in front of you and take it one game at a time in this situation?
That's how you do it. You take it one game at a time. We've seen a team come back from 3-0 firsthand. So, we just have to believe in one game at a time.
We're going to go to the middle first row.
Melissa Rowland, Fox Sports. Bam, what was the message in the locker room amongst the players after the game?
Amongst us, a lot of people pissed off, but biggest thing is first to four. That's the biggest thing, first to four. And we take it one game at a time, and we figure this thing out.
We're going to go to the left side in the back of the room.
Bam, in terms of I know you guys are taking it one game at a time here, but in terms of just getting a win, what are some things that you guys either want to carry over or fix? Like, what's kind of the first step in getting that first win for you guys?
I feel like the first thing is getting downhill. And then you live with those results. If our shooters are open, kick it out shooters and they make shots. And get back on defense and make them take tough shots.
Any more questions for Bam? We're going to go to the right side for row.
Tomer Zarley from Clutch Points. Bam, kind of the follow-up on that. You said kick it after shooters, but they've really taken Gabe and Max out of the game the last couple games. I think Max really had that first quarter in game 2 and hasn't done too much outside of that. What are you seeing that's making it so hard to get those guys open in the last couple games?
Watch film, figure it out. There's a lot of stuff going on in the game. They got a lot of responsibility. And I'm proud of them taking it to the chin. They're going to keep fighting. They're going to keep trying to figure it out. And I believe in them.
Last question, first row.
Will Giller with the Athletic. Bam, you ended up with 7 turnovers tonight. Rare to see you with a number that high. What were they doing defensively just to kind of force some of those mistakes, not just from you, from everybody?
I mean, obviously, having those turnovers can't help us win. Biggest thing for me is watch film, figure out how can I be better.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's Bam Adebayo, Heat center with a double-double tonight. I hate to correct the young man who asked the question, but unfortunately it wasn't 7 turnovers, it was 8. And Bam, that's going to bother him. That's one of the main things that bothers him when he turns the ball over an awful lot. But Alejandro, I love Bam's analogy, just the idea of thinking about Boston down 3-0, didn't stop. Then all of a sudden they came to game number 7. So all Miami has to do is win 3 games as opposed to winning 4 like Boston did. But how much you think it helps, even though it's going to be an unbelievable environment, I get the feeling, in Denver, because this is a team chasing its first championship. How that's going to be, is there that much confidence this team picked up in game number 2 that at least they know going in there they can win in that building?
Yeah, I really don't believe there's a lack of confidence from the Heat. I really don't. I know it's tough to say that after they lose 2 on their home floor, but this team knows that they could beat anybody. I mean, you're in the NBA Finals, right, Tommy? It's not like this is the first round, and after coming off of a play-in loss, and I mean, they beat the Bucks, they beat the Celtics, and they did it in every which possible way. They won in 5, and then they won 3 straight against Boston, lost 3 straight, had to go on the road in one of the toughest environments in the NBA, and win a Game 7 after losing 3 straight. So it's not like, going in and winning a Game 5 is some impossible task for the Heat. It just comes down to finding ways to beat this specific Denver Nuggets team, and that's what they've had struggles with, especially the last 2 games.
Game number 5, the adjustments for something like that. I figure you pretty much know this team by now, what they're capable, and they feel the same way about the Miami Heat right now. But what do you think you take out of tonight's game that maybe you hope that was positive that can carry over to there, or some things that you saw even in game number 2? I guess shooting the basketball would be the first thing you would think about, that you think you need to do to at least take game number 5, make it competitive, and hopefully get back, like Spo says, to Miami and have an opportunity for a game 6.
Yeah, you and I talked before the game, and I had kind of made the point that I just don't see a path for this Heat team to win games against Denver when they're not knocking down 3-pointers. And I know they were able to do it against New York. I know they were able to do it once against Boston as well, but they just need points, bottom line. So I think that's the first and an easy one that you can look at, right? Especially when tonight, again, 32%, 8 of 25. It's just not good enough. But I think they have to focus on not falling behind. And I think that's such a pivotal part of these games here for the Heat. And I know it's easier said than done because of how good Denver is, but you're putting yourself in a big hole time and time again. Think about it, Tommy. We're going through 4 games here, and every single one, Denver's had almost a double-digit lead in going into the fourth quarter. Tonight, it was double digits, and in game 2 where the Heat won, it was only 8 points, sure, and the Heat won the fourth quarter in a big way. But time and time again, in that third quarter, they're just getting outplayed. Simple as that. And tonight, Denver wins that third quarter 31-22. And if you're the Heat, you have to be able to come out of that halftime locker room and establish the game and carry whatever it is that you've established into the fourth. And they haven't been able to do that for whatever reason. And it is bizarre because this Heat team is so good at closing out games. They're so good at putting themselves in positions to come back and have late game heroics from some of their best players. But you've just learned now through 4 games that this team is too good. They're just too good to put yourself in that hole where you're just relying on Jimmy Butler saving the day or your shooters saving the day. And they're not going to let you do it time and time again. They gave it to you one time. And other than that, I mean, every time the Heat needed a big bucket in the fourth, they weren't able to get it. And on the flip side, Denver has taken advantage. So if you're Miami, again, shooting, yes, but more importantly, figure out a way to not be down double digits going into the fourth quarter. And then you give yourself a chance, right? Trading bucket for bucket in a situation you feel more comfortable in.
Let's go down to the interview room one final time. Here's Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry.
I think so. I just think we really do believe in one another, in ourselves as individuals. So we've done some hard things all year long in this playoff run as well. And now it's like the hardest of the hard. But like we always say, the things that you want is on the other side of hard as I don't know what. So that's where we're at. That's our reality. So we got to go out and win 3 straight.
Second row in the middle.
Jimmy, Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. You repeatedly said throughout this series that you're going to keep kicking the ball out to your shooters no matter if they're hitting shots, if they miss 9 in a row, you'll kick it out to them for a 10th. they've repeatedly struggled at some point in this series. Do you feel like you need to be more aggressive yourself, taking shots that you don't normally want to take, just to switch up the juju of the defense and maybe try to get a different result?
No, I won't do it. I got too much faith in my guys. Their shots will fall. They've been the reason behind us winning so many games, and I'm not letting that faith in them waver. I won't do it. I'm gonna continue to play basketball the right way, pump confidence in those guys, and we're gonna always live with the result.
We're gonna go on the left side in the back.
Aurelia Rica for the German Basket Magazine. A question for both of you. Spo said that you guys are like made for that you need those games where you have a must-win situation. So would you both agree that you need those games, like the next upcoming, that you're in a must-win situation?
Go ahead, guys.
I think we understand we have to thrive and we got to win. And I think it heightens our intensity. I think, he's win or go home right now. And, our intensity has been pretty high. And but when you get in these situations, you have to really be focused on every second, literally every second.
Last question in the first row.
It's Will Giller with the Athletic. Gabe has talked throughout the playoffs about, your mentorship and how much you've helped him the past couple of years, back-to-back tough games for him. Just what's kind of your message to him to help him kind of get up back on track going into Game 5?
I think just being ready to play. I mean, Gabe's been unbelievable this whole playoff run, this last couple months. Gabe's a tremendous basketball player. Our league is a make-or-miss league, and you got a guy in Jimmy Butler who's going to continue to pump confidence into him. I'm going to pump confidence into him. He's going to come out and have a great game, Game 5. He's going to we're all going to get some rest, recover, and get in that plane tomorrow with the mission in mind. Thank you, guys.
Kyle Lowry. Before that was Jimmy Butler. That'll just about do it from here. Producer Dan Day, assisted by Gary Abar, Courtney Fallon, Jimmy Garcia. Our next Miami Heat broadcast is next Monday, June the 12th. Your Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets at the Ball Arena for game number 5. Tip time is scheduled once again around 8:37, 8:38. We begin our pregame coverage at 8 o'clock. Coming up next in Miami, the AM 560 WQAM cool down with Alejandro. The final score once again, Denver beats Miami 108-95. Now for Jason Jackson, Amy Audibert, Alejandro, and the gang, I'm Tommy Tighe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Until we see you next time on the radio. You've been listening to the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
It's time for easier, and buying a Yamaha Wave Runner has never been easier. With the largest stock in South Florida, and with special offers during the Perfect Choice sales event, quick and easy financing and APR as low as 3.99% for 60 months. What are you waiting for? 2022 models are arriving. Jet Ski of Miami, your go-to dealer for anything Yamaha. Jet Ski of Miami and Fisherman's Boat Group, your Yamaha Marine Superstore for over 60 years. JetSkiofMiami.com. And retail prices not include prep, freight, or tax. Monthly APR rate on price based on Tier 1 qualifying APR. See dealer for details.
Metro Group Miami, corporate partner of the Miami Heat, the home of Metro Signs and Metro Wraps, has been South Florida's business choice for quality signs and graphics for over 34 years. No sign is too big or too small for the experts at Metro. We bring brands to life. Call us today, 954-983-6662, 954-983-6662. Visit MetroGroupMiami.com to learn what we can do for you. Metro Group Miami, your everything team. Have you heard about El Car Wash, the official car wash of the Miami Heat? For as low as $19.99 per month, you can enjoy unlimited express car washes at all of our 20-plus locations from Miami through Palm Beach. If you are on your way to work, having a night on the town, or just want the refreshing feeling of a sparkly clean car, come through one of our state-of-the-art car washes for a high-quality, fast, and fun finish. Visit elcarwash.com to find a location nearest you. El Car Wash. Always drive clean.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro, and we all know that an important part of winning a championship is getting there. And as the Miami Heat pursues another championship year, they trust the Good Greek to get them there. And when it's time for you to move like the Miami Heat and call Good Greek Moving and Storage. Whether it's local or long distance, go to goodgreek.com. Good Greek Moving and Storage, the official movers of the Miami Heat.
Good Greek, moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
This has been coverage of the NBA Finals with your Miami Heat on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Sponsored by Bacardi, a proud sponsor of the Miami Heat. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA Inc., Coral Gables, Florida. And by Ticketmaster, official ticket partner of the Miami Heat.
The Miami Heat play here. WQAM Miami, WPOW HD2 Miami, WKIS HD2 Boca Raton. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. DeMisman and Dover Law Firm presents the Miami Heat audio experience postgame show on the home of the Miami Heat. AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
DeMisman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7 at 866-954-MORE. Sponsored by UHealth, University of Miami Sports Medicine Institute experts treat athletes of all levels, elite pros, active adults, and youth athletes. Recover your game. Visit uhealthsportsmedicine.com.
Welcome into the cool down live from the Kaseya Center. I am Alejandro Solana. The Miami Heat, they will have an incredible task ahead of them and try to do something only one team in the history of the NBA Finals has done, which is come back from a 3-1 deficit. They lose tonight, second straight loss at home to the Denver Nuggets, 108-95. And the Heat go down 3-1 in this series. And that was a tough one. And I'm going to start here, which is where I think, the Heat end up losing the game. Nikola Jokic gets his 5th foul, 9:24 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Heat were down 10, 86-76. Not happy that you're in that situation. I'll get to how they got to that situation in a bit, but this is where you're at. Down 10, 9:24 remaining in the fourth quarter. This is a team all season long that has been able, especially in the postseason, to come back in those clutch moments in the fourth quarter and no matter the deficit, figure out a way to win. And after opening up the fourth on an 8-0 run, this building, they get into it. There's more life and energy from the Heat fans, and you're feeling like, okay, here we go. This is the big Heat run that we've been waiting for this entire game. Jokic gets a foul, his 5th foul, 9:24 remaining in the game, 10-point game. And when he returns to the game, 4:09 remaining, it was 96-87 Denver. And it's kind of been an issue all series long, the Heat not being able to take advantage of non-Jokic minutes for the Denver Nuggets. And tonight, it really hurt them. It really hurt them. With under 5 to play, there was a bit of a Heat run through that period where this place goes absolutely nuts. And then something really weird happens, a bizarre scene here at the Kaseya Center where Bam Adebayo goes up for a dunk. Heat were down 9. They needed a bucket there, and the ball rims out. He's called for hanging on the rim, and there was a stoppage of play here at the Kaseya Center because it appeared like when Bam hung on the rim actually tilted to the side. So they had to bring a ladder out. It took about 5-6 minutes, a total stoppage of play, so that they could bring out a level and make sure that the rim and the basket were leveled as they should be. And then after the players took the court again, there was another stoppage of play because behind the Heat bench, a fan appeared to have actually fallen down and needed medical assistance. She was stretchered off. So after about 10-12 minutes, and obviously I hope she's okay, but after 10-12 minutes of a stoppage of play, the Heat still have Jokic on the bench, and they still have an opportunity here to make something happen. And they continue to get stops off defensively. This Heat team were getting stops during this run, which is all you can ask for against a Nuggets team that doesn't have their best player out on the floor. 3 straight possessions with under 5 minutes left, a 9-point game. The Heat were unable to get any points. First, a Jimmy Butler turnover under the rim. Then Bam, guarded by Contavious Caldwell-Pope misses a bunny right next to the rim. And then after another stop, forcing Murray into a tough shot, Duncan Robinson comes down the other floor, and he was great tonight. He really was. He's probably been the Heat's second or third best player in this series. He's called for a travel. At that dead ball, Jokic checks back into the game, and it's a 9-point game. 4:06 remaining, 96-87 Denver. The Heat had their window, about 4 minutes, to cut the deficit, put themselves in a better position to win the game, take advantage of the best player in the world not being out on the floor because of foul trouble, and they just couldn't put points together. And when you can't score, and you only score a combined 44 points in the second half tonight against this Nuggets team, you fail to reach 95 points again against this Nuggets team. This is a situation that you find yourself in, down 3 games to 1. I love the Heat's energy tonight. I don't think, after game 3, there was certainly some conversations, and I had it here on the cool down, where you questioned the Heat's energy. You questioned their lack of hustle, and it was directly reflected on the score sheet, right? In the box score, where the Heat were out-rebounded by 25. Denver took it to them down low. They had almost 30 more points in the paint than Miami did in game 3. Tonight, I don't think that was the case. Nuggets had only 2 more points in the paint than Miami, and the Heat out-rebounded Denver tonight. But your shooters didn't show up again. 8 of 25, only 32% from deep for this Heat team. And tonight, Denver, they got some solid contributions. It wasn't just Murray and Jokic like it was the other night. I mean, Aaron Gordon lit you up in that second quarter. He had 11 field goals tonight. 27 points for Aaron Gordon. 11 field goals from Aaron Gordon is just unbelievable. And then Bruce Brown, late in this game, he had over 10 points in the fourth quarter. He was 8 of 11 and just killed you in the fourth quarter. And I think that's the most unfortunate part, where you knew Jokic and Murray, you knew what they were capable of, and they put on a show the other night here in game 3. But tonight, this Nuggets team that a lot of people have overlooked, they came in here and they showed you it's not just 2 guys. It really is a unit that is playing excellent basketball. And you got some really solid contributions tonight. Kyle Lowry stepped in a huge way. Gabe Vincent, once again, dealing with foul trouble. Gabe Vincent, 1 of 6, just 2 points, second straight game where he just cannot find any sort of rhythm. And Kyle Lowry steps up and gives you really, really good minutes off the bench. He had 13 points tonight. And then Kevin Love, at one point, late third, early fourth quarter, he needed a spark, and he was able to knock down a couple 3-pointers. He got into the rim for an and one at one point. And Jimmy and Bam, again, I can't question their effort, because I think they approached this game the right way. Jimmy Butler getting into the rim. You saw more attempts in the paint tonight from Jimmy Butler than you've seen in a very long time, since he rolled that ankle when Josh Hart ran into him up in New York. And Bam Adebayo on both ends again. I mean, he was 8 of 18 tonight, not the most efficient night, but he had his double-double. He was playing really, really good basketball.